We want to kind of kick it off with what really inspired you to start maybe your wellness journey, and how did that translate into working with touring artists?
Yeah, I mean, my journey is very specific. It actually started with touring musicians. And when I was in my early 20s, I got an opportunity to work at a very thriving music management company in Los Angeles. And I was currently in school at the time trying to get my bachelor's in music journalism. But the opportunity was just so good. Like, I physically could not pass it up. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take some like extended leave off of school, and I'm just going to go head first into this management. And what turned into something that I originally thought it was going to be maybe a year, 2 years of an experience. And that turned into almost 10 years of working in artist management. And so there, I was working with heavy touring artists. They were touring 6 to 8 months out of the year. They were releasing, recording music. And so I was immersed in different types of musicians and how their processes were, specifically in the touring space. And I was young, so I was also engaging in probably very unhealthy practices. I was eating terribly. I was not sleeping. I was partying, like doing the normal young 20 working in the music business type of life. And when that started, I started experiencing my own health issues, and I was starting to really not feel great. And what that turned into was me going to doctor after doctor to try to see if I could find ways to help me. And it basically got to a point where I became completely resistant to all the antibiotics that they were prescribing me to, because I was doing them so frequently and so consistently, because I was not being healed. And that was a pretty crazy moment for me. At the time, it felt like I was in, never going to get an answer, and I felt so defeated. But then it also was kind of that moment where I was forced to find other forms of healing. And that's when I decided to change my diet. I looked at supplementations. I looked at, personal lifestyle choices, all these things that they say can make you feel better. And the craziest thing was, after a few months, I not only was able to heal myself, but I was also able to prevent these things occurring ever again. And so that was a pretty big moment for me. And meanwhile, this is all happening, and I'm still working in music industry, and I'm starting to then see such unhealthy patterns that I was also experiencing in my clients. And it took me on this weird journey of like, okay, well, my artists are struggling just like I was, and they're looking for ways to heal. They're looking for help. And there has to be someone that does this. So I started searching. I looked for any, therapists, nutritionists, different types of healers that were knowledgeable in the wellness space, but also knowledgeable in the music industry, because it's such a specific beast. And I could not find a single person. And so I decided to basically just say, fuck it. And I quit my job. I went back to school. I started dreaming up Wild Rock Wellness, and that is kind of where this whole business started. And it's now been 2 years, a little over 2 years since launch, and it's been pretty amazing. It's great.